Hello and welcome to another video by Ready Made Gaming. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be playing something called GOAT format. That's a Yu-Gi-Oh format from April 2005. It is a nostalgic format, very popular among older players. Today we have Wyatt joining us with GOAT Control Mirror. So both of these are slightly modified GOAT control decks. Wyatt was on the play, opened with Graceful Charity, discarding a Air Knight Parshath and a Mystic Tomato, and then he hit me with a Dust Shoot to get my Berserker out of my hand. Left me with some spells like Nobleman of Crossout and Heavy Storm. We just get right into the game then. Nobleman hits Shining Angel. I pick up my deck thinking, oh wow, I'm going to have to discard a Magician of Faith. Set 1, which is odd considering I followed that setup with a Graceful. So that either tells you that card's super important or that card's a scapegoat. Looks like I'll discard a Premature Burial. There's a Tomato and an attack for 14. It would be great if it were not a Scapegoat. It would be kind of embarrassing if I just set Scapegoat and then summon Tomato. That's like a very clear overextension on the first turn. For Wyatt's second turn, he will summon a Break of the Magic Warrior, add a token. He's going to be able to go after a Spell or Trap here and potentially attack down Mystic Tomato. So we're getting into GOAT format a little bit, and that might warrant some degree of an explanation to people who've been with the channel for a while. We primarily do Pauper. Oh wow, it was a storm, so I just set the storm very aggressively. We primarily do Pauper. We did a little bit of Modern here and there, but the people in the area are starting to get, sort of out and about again. A lot of people are vaccinated, so people are going to tournaments. And one of the things that kept coming up when we were running our tournament series for TNS was getting in GOAT format and actually playing games of GOAT and holding small tournaments for them. So we started putting together a whole bunch of decks. I think we have maybe 11 or 12 now. And we're going to start featuring them on this channel and promoting it through the store's page. Trying to get people invested in the format a little bit because it is a lot of fun. This is when Yu-Gi-Oh was Yu-Gi-Oh, in my opinion. This was, not to say that Yu-Gi-Oh is not Yu-Gi-Oh now, but like the Yu-Gi-Oh I came up with was this stuff from this era. I like the modern era too. I like playing Shaddolls and when Wyatt and I play modern Yu-Gi-Oh, he plays Dragon Link usually. I play Shaddolls, so if I can't produce double Winda, it doesn't really matter that much. But this is sort of a digression from what we're talking about. The format's great. The format that is GOAT format is a lot of fun. I don't think it's as skill testing as people might hype it up to be, because there's cards like Heavy Storm and Pot of Greed and Graceful and Delinquent that if you draw them, you win the vast majority of the games that you draw those cards. But that doesn't mean that there's no skill. There's just walking into a torrential for everything. So yeah, the board sort of developed out here, and after our digression, a torrential cleared everything. So we kind of kept right up with the pace of the game there. But yeah, we'll be playing a little bit more GOAT. We'll be playing a little bit of Hat. Be playing a little bit of Dragon Ruler. Try to spice it up a little bit. Change things up for people who aren't just strictly into Pauper. We're going to continue with our Pauper series. There's a Blade Knight and an attack. I have a stack armor down. I'm going to choose not to use it. Maybe a little greedy, but I want to get the card advantage with Sook. Because now I'm just down 1,600 life points for a sack armor, and I would trade 1,600 life points for a card all day. Unless I were at 1,600 life points. Space the Ring. But yeah, we'll probably be doing one Yu-Gi-Oh video and then one Magic video and trying to get back into the habit of posting videos every week. We have a little recording area upstairs now. That card stops a summon for sure. Yep, you can Solemn Judgment and flip summon. Yeah, for sure you can Solemn Judgment and flip someone. Solemn Warning. I don't think you used. You know what? It was Logia back in the day. Logia, Volzor Logia. You couldn't negate a flip summon with Logia, but you could do it with Judgment. Judgment just says summon. Set 2 pass. Sort of playing into Storm here. End of turn goats. So we know we have the Suk in hand, so that advertises pretty clearly that we have a Metamorphosis, and Metamorphosis plus Scapegoat plus Tsukuyomi is usually going to be good enough. Why it's spreading out the old goats there. I think Suk would be an easy normal summon here, just turn it down, but it's also possible that you want to wait. I feel like you lose pretty hard to Storm now anyway, so it's just better to get it out of the way. Start clocking wide a little bit. You can definitely play as slow as you want to play. It looks like we're considering... It looks like Wyatt was considering a BLS or something. I think I just would have slammed if it was BLS. Could have been Chaos Sorcerer and you don't want to risk the attack. But I think we still have the sack armor from before. From that blade armor decision. There's an upside down Thousand Eyes Restrict. Just to give Suk something to target to swing for 11 more. Yeah, we're done here. Wyatt was out of that game. No, we didn't have the sack armor. We had a Mirror Force. We must use the sack armor somewhere else down the line. So we'll get into game 2 here. We don't really side deck in these mirror matches. It's something we're going to do down the line. But just like how we started off with Pauper relatively slowly, we're going to start off with Yu-Gi-Oh! Relatively slowly. The difference... Yeah, here we go. We get into game 2 now. Let's see if we give each other opening hands, yeah? So Wyatt's on the play. Pot, Sangan, Shining Angel, Book of Moon, Torrential, and something else. I am on Sack, Premature, BLS, Mirror Force, and Snatch Steel. Excuse me. That hand is wildly unplayable, and Wyatt opens with Pot. So for the people who are still around, who generally watch the Pauper videos, there are no mulligans in Yu-Gi-Oh! You get what you get. So it looks like I drew a sack armor for the turn. BLS gets Trap Dust shot. Trap Dust shooted. Let's find out. We probably end up just setting Mirror Force here. I think it's overly conservative to just set sack armor and potentially get beat out by like Don Tomato and just take 14 for no reason. I'd rather just slam the Mirror Force. So it's not Mirror Force, it's sack armor. So I don't think I would have attacked with Tomato then. But Sangan gets in for a K, and that's fine. Set a spell or trap. Here comes Sangan. Ooh. Oh my goodness, this is aggressive. This is tiltingly aggressive. I would have tried to get 3K in with Sangan before I tributed, I think. As many of you know from my commentary, I tend to lean towards conservative play, especially in open board states like this. And especially when you know I have Mirror Force. Oh, he books it. Ooh, that is greedy. Especially when you know I have Knock. What is going on here? Why are you just trying to trade everything? You went first and played Pot. I guess that's why you're trying to trade everything. That's fine. So this summon Spirit Reaper play is kind of freaky. You get to summon you have to normal summon your Spirit Reaper while your opponent still has a monster to avoid being torrential, and maybe get in with a Spirit Reaper and get some card advantage back. Reaper takes Tomato. Wyatt's down to 3 in hand. I'd like to see our hand at some point. Reaper is it's an interesting creature. It's both fragile and sturdy. It can't be destroyed by battle, but if it's targeted by any spell or trap, it immediately blows itself up. However, due to how the game works, Book of Moon targets, flips it face down, and then Spirit Reaper would have an opportunity to see that it had been targeted by a spell or trap, so it doesn't blow itself up. Mago de Fae, Faith Mage, Magician of Faith. What's the play here? Snatch Steal. This is interesting. Snatch Steal indicates I might have a Book of Moon in hand. Oh, just morphing it. Right into Torrential, yeah. A little aggressive. And there's my concession right there. Yeah. I played right into that Torrential way too aggressively. I should have done 0 things, but I knew he had a Sook, so we're on to game 3, and I'll be on the play. Ideally, we would be playing these games out to their natural conclusion. Looks like Parshath, Breaker, Book of Moon, Graceful, and Mystic Tomato going against Graceful, Duo, Sack, Shining Angel, and Tomato. So Wyatt seems to have a propensity to playing 2 of the power spells every game, so he has 2 of them in his opening hand. I generally prefer to hold on to Graceful Charity until you know exactly what it is you're trying to answer or what you're trying to fight against. But in this game, I like to play Graceful straight away. Usually indicates a certain degree of weakness in the hand. Committing pretty heavily to the board on the first turn. Most of the time, you'll only see 2 cards hit the board. Sometimes only 1. It's not super common for 3 cards to come into play in the same turn cycle. Looks like Dust Shoot and Angel. Here comes Duo. I was wondering why I discarded Dust Shoot when I'm going to have 4 in hand, but apparently I will not have 4 in hand. We'll get rid of Parshath. We'll get rid of Scapegoat. Breaker the Magical Warrior. We actually really want the face down to be Book of Moon here. And we want the face down monster to be Magician of Faith. Should just attack with Tomato. Oh, it's a Tomato. That ain't great. Get Sanguine to get Magician. Either way, if we can keep him off the board, we should. It's probably why I would have attacked with a Tomato first anyway, but who knows? Maybe I get to ram Tomatoes here? Do we just slam the other plant? And the cool part about attacking your opponent's Tomato with your Tomato is that you are turn player, so your things go on the chain first. Definitely want to attack Sanguine here. We lose pretty hard to Jinzo, we lose pretty hard to Parshath, so just keep them off the board. But yeah, your Tomato goes on the chain first, their Tomato goes on the chain second. Since Tomato doesn't target a card in your deck, right, you just get to special summon a guy. But you get to see what they special summon. So if they go Sanguine, you know, you can go Sanguine, Tomato, Nidori, or whatever. If they go Tomato, then you get to go Tomato, and you get to repeat the process. And, you know, you thin your deck a little bit, and here comes a BLS or Chaos Sorcerer. This is banish that Tomato. Looks like we just draw a Snatch Deal off the top. That's pretty cool. So we know that face down is Magician of Faith. I guess we'll just attack. That's fine. I think I would have preferred attack and just give him the extra draw, but we might just lose to like Heavy Storm pretty hard anyway. So. Wyatt's just going to pass. And this might be lethal here, to be honest. There's a lot. Yeah. Alrighty, Snatch Deal's a hell of a card. And I had Book of Moon to insulate against the Heavy Storm. Okay, well, thanks for coming, hanging out. Hopefully you liked what you saw and you're willing to check out some more GOAT videos and Pauper videos and Modern and whatever else we have some time to